Where do you even get the right to even come up with something like that?
The system is no good. You don't have the players for that system. So, Ruben Amorin hasn't had time.
And then it's come out, and then all of a sudden fans are booing you.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Football Park podcast with me, the Northern Line Wanderer, and next to me, Monsieur Colin, Kazim, Richard. ¿Qué tal?
Está bien, bonjour, ça va?
All good, thank you, all good. Now, this morning you have had some struggles in order to get to our new beautiful location for this, the Football Park podcast. Your thoughts on the Northern Line today? How's it been behaving?
You like to put my business on blast every episode, bro. No.
Well, we're in Elephant and Castle. It's exactly the same as it used to be. Nothing's changed around here. How you doing?
Do you know what? I ain't seen Bagel Kings. Anybody who's my era knows about Bagel King.
What was your order? Did you have an order?
Yeah, it was chocolate cake and custard. Sounds mad. After going out, go to Bagel King's, 24 hours. You know what? I'm lying. It was actually apple crumble and custard.
Apple crumble and custard. The
Yeah.
post-club crumble.
Bagel King, Elephant and Castle. Who knows, who doesn't.
Which I'm assuming that this was part of your athlete's diet, and that you were playing for a club when you were celebrating obviously victories, no defeats, when you were out in this area. Probably at the Ministry of Sound as well.
Nah, I couldn't get in at Ministry of Sound. Ministry of Sound. I got some bad memories. Couldn't get in. How about that one?
You got the rejection.
Not even a rejection. It's not even. Yeah, just.
So who were you going out with in those days in these areas?
Seb.
I'm just interested. It's a podcast. We need to talk about something.
Listen, that can't be disclosed. Okay, Seb. But just know, we all didn't get in.
It was
Nah.
a complete.
I think that was round about. You know what? Where was I at that time? Where was I? It's probably come back a couple nights from Bury. So
Okay, so in the early days.
early days, yeah, early days. Just 18.
Okay. Turnmills, King's Cross,
Exactly. Listen, it was a
Cargo,
embassy.
Whiskey Mist.
No, Whiskey Mist. I never did that one. That was probably your vibe.
So last time we spoke, you're in São Paulo State. I was in Monaco actually.
Yep.
So we've had some eclectic summers, and over the summer as well, a record-breaking window. I want to start by focusing on Arsenal, and we're 4 games into the season so far. Obviously, the loss to Liverpool, an outstanding goal by Szoboszlai as well, but a very, very close game overall. Mm-hmm. What have you made of their new signings so far? What do you make of the squad? What do you make of this start?
I think it's a start that, to be honest, that Arteta would have expected. Mm-hmm. Liverpool game can go either way. It's two big teams. 2 teams I think with the same.
It's a close one, right?
Yeah, 2 teams with the same objective. Uh-huh. You know, want to be champion for sure. Want to win the Premier League. To lose to a goal like that, sometimes you just have to be like, you know what?
Applaud.
Because that goal was outrageous. Mm-hmm. That free kick was crazy. I don't think he'll ever hit one like that again. He'll score free kicks. Yeah. But to hit one like that, it's crazy. And Rayo went early, made the right decision. There's just no chance. You could have put a couple.
Just unstoppable, yeah.
What do I make of the signings? I think the signings have been very good signings.
Mm-hmm. Who's impressed you the most early?
Who's impressed me the most early? It's not that someone specifically has impressed me early. It's more of like they've actually gelled quite well. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I mean? Doesn't look like they're all new. Obviously, Gyökeres has had people, not Gyökeres, let me take that back. People have been on Gyökeres early, but that's just because of the saga that it took to get him there. That comes with it. It does, because you can't listen, after 4 games, you can't.
4 games, you're still getting match fit.
Exactly.
You're not 100% at that stage.
Let's really talk about it, right? Even if he had a pre-season, he's still getting match fit after 4 games, right?
So what we're saying is that you can't judge him yet because he's not match fit?
No, not that you can't judge him. I think footballers are there.
You're going to get judged.
You're going to get judged no matter what. People are going to have opinions. I just don't think people should be shouting flop. That's crazy. Like, he's going to be the new That's what I hear all the time, and I'm like, what are we doing?
I mean, having sort of looked at the earliest games, I think what he offers, maybe we're expecting somebody to come in and be this fulcrum, you know, this sort of 30 goal a season striker, which I don't necessarily think Arsenal need, because the goals come from
everywhere,
all across the pitch. What I think he is he's just a battering ram.
It's something different, right?
It's almost like a backward step in football culture, if we would say that way. This is a forward who basically will crash into you. We didn't have that. Havertz won't do that. You know, we didn't have a number 9 who did that. And I think when Marino sort of played up front, was quite successful. He, I think, gave Arteta this idea. You know what I want? I just want a little bit more physicality. It wasn't even about the goals. I think it's just about having that physicality to be able to win the ball back, put them under more pressure. Would you ascribe to that? Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it, and I also think what he does do, he now occupies defenders in terms of now, instead of them understanding how Arsenal's going to play, Arsenal's got so much variety now.
Also, he stays up, right?
But this is what I'm saying.
He's not consistently dropping.
Exactly. So now with him staying up, with him being the type of player he is, it's automatically pinning back 2 defenders. Okay? So now, Arsenal now got overloads. Arsenal now can create 3 against 2, 2 against 1s in the positions that they've got Madueke, they've got Eze, they've got Ethan, you understand? And Martinelli and et cetera, right? And now he can occupy that space, and now he can be an aerial threat. But if you understand about Gyökeres, right, he's not scored much goals with his head, but he's still an aerial threat because he is the profile and the physicality of who he is. It has to be. Do you understand what I mean? It's like when Peter Crouch didn't really head the ball much, but he's still an aerial threat.
Yeah.
Just because of the profile he was, right? So I think in terms of that, I still think the best is yet to come from all of them. Like to have, for me, one of the signings of the season, Eze. Yeah, when he starts getting going, I think it's going to be a problem, right? And then you've also got Ethan now, as well. That's going to come into his like, I think he's maturing even more now, and he's going to be able to understand himself even more.
I think the balance in the squad that they have right now, I think it is arguably the most balanced squad in the Premier League.
Is exactly what you're saying. I don't know about the most balanced squad in the Premier League. I think it's the most balanced it's been since Arteta's been there.
Unquestionably.
But I give you this now. Love Saka. But now Saka's got to fight for like place now. Like he's going to be looking over his shoulder now.
That petition against Madueke is looking a little bit silly now.
It's looking silly. It was always silly.
You didn't sign it, did you?
No, that's crazy. I would never get involved in that stuff. Listen to what I'm saying though. Whether he turns out to be a good signing or not, that petition is stupid. I'm sorry. What are we doing? What are we doing? Who? Where do you even get the right to even come up with something like that? And this is where now, I know I'm a players person, and but that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. To petition, whether you like the signing or not.
Listen, you as a fan, you have a right to express
100%
your feelings, and I think what's happened more than ever before, specifically this summer, because there is no football going on. We football fans need to find something else to be interested in.
Yeah,
and it's become the football transfer.
Don't do that.
It is the football transfer itself. And as such, you know what I mean? You have fans who are now petitioning, as we said, and it is a means of saying to a club, we don't really want the player, you know? So whether we agree to it or not, as a means of vocalising or verbalising some sort of opinion or not, you know, should we sign the player, yes or no? I think when it turns into more than that, when there's vitriol, when they're saying, oh, he's you know, we can't sign him or anything like that. But is it
from
really
the club, if they're listening to the petition? I just think that's crazy. Listen, fans can do. Everybody's entitled to do whatever they want to do, and we've spoke about this before, right? About abuse and about where entitlement comes in.
We've spoken about this line.
Yeah, this line.
And
that's crossing the line.
Where that is.
That's crossing the line, though.
See, I don't agree with that. I don't think that is. I think that it is a new way of
To
demonstrating an opinion. You know what I mean?
I don't
It's
know
just-
whether to take him serious or not.
Is it?
Nah,
Is it?
I don't think. Listen, you can go on camera and be like, "Look, I don't think we should sign Madueke because, etc., etc., etc."
Some sort of tactical reason.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
think
I
we
don't
really.
like it.
Whatever. I don't
it.
like
Not my
it.
player,
You're
yeah.
entitled to do all that, but to actually formalize a petition.
So your issue is with the fact of the organisation of it.
No,
the
but
fact that
it's just crazy where you think. I'm sorry, yeah, to all fans. Yes, you spend your money to come in, right? You probably spend your money in McDonald's and loads of restaurants and
how is it-
Starbucks.
how
Hold
is
on,
it-
listen to what I'm saying,
okay.
right? You probably spend your money in Starbucks, Costa Coffee. I don't mean to put them out there, but it's whatever it is, right? And then when they want to discontinue or add something to the menu, you think you're entitled to make a petition and be like, well, no, I don't want a latte. I want a flat white on them. I want 2 flat white. Like, who are you to do that? No,
as somebody who.
Nah, get out of here, bro.
Okay, so Gale's Bakery did the most amazing French toast with bacon, and it got taken off the menu.
Okay.
So I went in and asked, would you do me French toast and bacon? I sort of informed them that their new lunch menu wasn't the best. How is that too dissimilar? You know what I mean? It is something that I think that there is the whole
Hear the
petition side of
difference.
thing. You know what it was for me is the fact that it gets flamed. And this is no. This for me is becoming more and more prevalent. Is that within football, we're not actually reporting news. We are already looking for the next phase in it to some sort of reaction and going off on some complete tangent before anything has ever happened. So I know that October, for example, October is the month when managers get sacked.
Yeah.
Okay, the casualties, the bodies are going to start piling up very, very, very soon. But we're 4 games in.
But
You
it
know,
wasn't
we are
even
4 games in.
It
So
wasn't
we-
even 4 games in though, Seb. It was
Yeah.
the news came out.
Yeah.
The next day there was a petition. Now that's very different to what you just said. See, like if something does get discontinued and you go in, can you make me such and such? Now there's a debate. You know what? Maybe we can do that for you, maybe not. But did you go out and formalize and stand outside and be like, do you want to sign a petition to get Gale's what was it?
The French toast and bacon.
French toast and bacon back on the menu.
Please.
We don't want. Nah, come on. Do you see what I'm saying?
I've got
nah,
some
that's
free time
crazy.
Sunday,
And
but
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I will never, whether I was a football player, coach now, whatever it is,
Okay, but
that is
my
crazy.
point, I agree with that side of things, but like I said, I think this petition side of thing is just somebody who's bored, got too much time on their hands. Whether it was a poll, if they did a poll on Twitter, should we sign Madueke or not?
Poll's totally different.
Because that's got this open opinion. But
Yeah,
you've
it's
got
just an
somebody who
open
is
opinion,
saying
yeah.
we absolutely shouldn't sign him.
So what happens now if he has a chip on his shoulder for the next 4 years? Is
If he
he
continues
entitled
to
to that?
play like that,
No.
Keep
I
it.
don't mean by that. Forget the way he's playing. Just now, if he never has a connection to the fan base, because I don't know how many people signed it, right? But let's say, I don't know, 100,000 people signed it, for example, 80,000 people. To him, maybe. See, I don't want to speak for him, but
Yeah,
to
but
me
it
now,
could feel
whoever
like
you see in
a-
the stadium now. So how much does Arsenal hold? 65,000, whatever it is, 60,000, right? Me, in my perspective now, when I look around that whole stadium, it's all of you that signed it. Now there's no connection. Do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah, well, you'll have slightly more experience than me in playing in front of stadiums
Yeah.
and supporters. Talk to me about when that connection is lost. Is there a moment? Is there a feeling? What and how do you feel?
See, I've had connections that I've lost. It's been very, very, very few, and it's more of sometimes fans can't differentiate between the person and the footballer.
Yeah, we've spoken about
Yeah,
this
we've spoken
line.
between that. Yeah, and certain things was going on behind closed doors. You know, like not being paid on time. Certain things in your contract that was not being upheld. You understand? And then you as the player now, when you decide to do something, when enough's enough, it turns around on to how much money you receive. Well, you shouldn't have. It doesn't matter what's going on. You get such and such.
Perform.
You understand? Not even just perform. You ain't entitled to how you feel. Forget that. Scrap that because you earn 100 grand a week. Doesn't matter what's going on. Doesn't matter that your brother just died. Doesn't matter that your grandma who brought your family to the country just died. You're playing. You shouldn't have that feeling. And me, certain things that was going on behind, I
added to this pressure in public, right? Because
not pressure in public. So I spoke. I've put into FIFA now. You know, I've asked to be paid, etc., etc. The club spun it like all I care about was money. It's not. It's been 6 months. I'm actually only supposed to wait 3 months. I've waited.
3 months. FIFA get the
right?
post, yeah.
I've actually waited 6 months, and then it's come out, and then all of a sudden fans are booing you. Right, so I've had that disconnect.
So
different.
How does it feel then when you're going out to do your job, and people are just
booing I'm quite different. Me, any type of environment I love. So you're booing. I'm like, all right, cool. Boom, take that. And I'm standing there looking, kind of like, you see Balotelli just standing there, kind of like that. Now what? So they're half cheering, half booing still. You love me. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm kind of different. But in terms, I never had what had happened to him where they didn't want, and they made a petition. That's why I'm kind of like, that's fine. You're always going to see comments or whatever. He's rubbish, whatever. Yeah. Of course there's that. Yeah. But to actually start a petition to try and block your transfer, that's like me coming into your job and trying to stop your livelihood. That's how I see it. You got to remember, it's our livelihood, right? It's our careers. And imagine now if Arsenal listened to it. Just imagine. That's for me where it's kind of dangerous. The sense of entitlement, the sense of I'm your boss. I can tell this business how to run because I pay to come and watch the game, or I buy on TV and I have my packet. That's where it's quite frightening. I know it's a joke and we're joking and whatever, but just imagine that's the new fad now. Starting petitions to get rid of people.
I think stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I know stranger things have happened, but that's a line that is, for me, I know maybe I'm being a bit extra, but
just to finish on Arsenal, because we'll come to the next petition candidate, I think, in a moment. But Mosquera, the centre-back, the young Spaniard, I think that he is arguably Arsenal's best signing so far, best business.
Man.
Fantastic price. And the way that he stepped into that Liverpool game and didn't put a foot wrong, looked assured, even carried the ball forward as well. I think that whatever happens with Saliba is, potentially Saliba's Real Madrid. We have to accept that
came out
already.
This week, didn't it?
I mean, it's the way that Real Madrid contract, it was probably happening for the last 3 seasons. So I think that we can unfortunately already say goodbye to Saliba because the contract talks are ongoing at the moment with him. And, I would love for him to re-sign. I think that if Saliba does re-sign, I think that Arsenal's possibility of winning the Premier League increases. Because I think that if he signs, that sends a message to every other player in there. If Saliba turns down a Real Madrid, stays at Arsenal,
that's now you've worded it better for me. If he turns down, just because you signed, don't mean you've turned down Real Madrid.
Yeah.
That could be business to get more money, to help out the club. Loads of players have done that before, right?
Yeah.
You know that. Sign contracts and then a month later they're still gone because now obviously your value is higher in terms of the club that you're at, right? Because you just signed a new contract. But my thing is, who plays then? So just to go on to Mosquera, by the way, from what we've seen, he's adapted like he's still playing in Spain. Very quick. And I think for me, that shows the character of a player immensely. Like where you've just come to whatever country, not just England, because people like to think that here's the biggest adaptation. Everywhere. When you go and play abroad, adapting to a way of life is really, really tough. Because living somewhere and being on holiday somewhere is totally different. To everybody out there. So when everybody goes on holiday to Spain, to France, oh, nice, I could live here. It's very different, to actually living there. There's such things called notary. People don't understand all that, bro.
Yeah, there's
Right?
something like, I don't know, tax that's not sourced.
Yeah, you understand, right?
Yeah.
Having to pay your own taxes.
Yeah,
You know, like it's tough, right? So just to see that away from football is crazy, and then to see the way he's adapted to football has been mental. But who plays then?
I think that if Saliba is not re-signing this current contract, if they do not renegotiate with him, what is the point in keeping Saliba? We have to sell him at the end of the season.
Like in
sporting director land. In sporting director land, or if you're looking at it as a business,
I've seen stranger things happen.
Wow. You know, it is. Listen, I think that the recontracting of Saliba is arguably going to be the most important contract that Arsenal do in, you know, for the last sort of 3-4 years and for the next couple. If they can get that one done, Arsenal's squad is then properly aligned. The big players are re-signing. You've managed to recapture them all. They're attracting decent players as well. So just, you know, absolute credit to Arsenal's recruitment team. Half of these signings didn't really anticipate. We didn't see them coming. And that for me is the mark of excellent work. So on to the flip side of things. A couple of months ago, we did a little Winston Bogarde 11. The famous Dutch international who used to take EasyJet in to training, down to Cobham, basically bump in, bump out, and just collect his salary as well. Now, Raheem Sterling is Chelsea's highest paid player, £300,000 a week, and not currently listed for half of the competitions in which Chelsea play in this season. I know that you don't like to be put in other people's shoes. So if you're in Raheem's shoes, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'll be honest with you, right? I'm doing exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because if I can't find a solution that benefits me and my family, what do you want me to do?
So the question that I have, at the later tail end of your career as well, the club has offered you this contract at 300 Gs a week. You've happily signed it as well. Couple of loans, fine, no problem. But your work contract is your work contract.
100%.
You're going to stick to it, right?
100%. And just like everybody was moaning at Isak, yeah? But the club's doing it on the other way. I don't hear anybody moaning about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that is the name of the game. That is the business that we're in. And I'm not saying that Chelsea's wrong for doing it, and I'm not saying that Raheem's wrong for doing it, but they're both doing the same thing. They're both now worrying about themselves.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody's like, well, he could have got a payoff and gone somewhere else.
You got any idea how much it costs to pay that kind of money?
Yeah, so let's say Chelsea were okay with doing it, which nobody knows, okay? Nobody knows. But let's just say in the grand scheme of things, they were. What says to say that he had anything near what he would want to do in terms of his career? So he might not have wanted to go places like Turkey. He might not want to go and play, I don't know. This is now speaking in hindsight. Like, he might not have had anything suitable for where he feels that he is. Yeah. Okay? And he's okay with having that opinion.
Having been in these positions too, it's down to the club to find something. If I'm representing Raheem Sterling, Raheem, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm training. I'm from West London. I'm close to my family. The money's coming in every month. Everybody's fit and well. Life's okay. Exactly. I'm not playing football. It's frustrating me, but at that kind of age, let's be brutally honest. You don't care about playing so much. You want to.
I don't know, man.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I wanted to play, but
yeah,
at that age, I knew the business. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying to you.
You know what I mean?
Knew the business and I understood.
Okay, so
let me put
this to you. And again, brutal honesty. You're getting a contract. Let's say that there's a contract worth 10 grand a week. Okay, you're not going to play. And there's a contract worth 5 grand a week and you'll play every game. Last season of your career, I know where I'm going.
It's tough, Seb.
No, but these are the
because those
these are the exact decisions
no,
that
but those
footballers
numbers
have to make as well.
Yeah, but those numbers you gave, 5 grand, 10 grand's kind of same money after you get taxed and stuff like that. So then that kind of sways what you're doing, and this is what I keep saying to
But
people
these,
making
you know
decisions.
what I mean?
But
these
I know
are
what you're
close
saying.
decisions as well, and you think,
It
okay,
is,
listen,
because now you're
it's not like he hasn't had a career.
Yeah, now you're thinking the other end, okay, and he will be. But the one thing that I always say is that you do still want to play. That's how you started off. You do, but the business side, which you turn into, okay, you turn into a businessman.
Yeah.
Especially when you're earning that kind of money, and you are Raheem Sterling. You
Yeah,
turn into
absolutely.
a businessman. You have to educate yourself because he's got other things going on.
Yeah.
Right. You start to understand the nature of this environment that we're in. So that is what will hold you. If he could get something that would benefit him, he would have done it and been playing. Of course he wants to play. But then there's the business side as well. So you're a businessman and a player in terms of where he's at. So I think that's where it is. And Chelsea have made a business decision, right? And it's okay for them. So it must be okay for Raheem to do what he's doing. He's training. Yeah, this is what people forget, right? You're paid to train.
Yeah.
You are paid to train.
You have set hours as well. If you're picked for a game, or it's
If you're
incidental,
picked
really.
for a game, it's a bonus. And that's why you have bonuses.
Yeah.
Right? You are paid to train. So he's doing his end of his contract. What time do you want me to train? 8 o'clock. I think I saw something posted. Right? 8 o'clock. Okay, train at 8 o'clock. I did that. I had to train. I told you the story. I had to train twice a day when I was fighting to get paid.
That's the other thing as well, though, because Raheem has to train on his own. There are certain safeguarding measures that professional footballers have to have. So he'll have to have, I think it's a UEFA B or UEFA A qualified coach with him.
Yeah.
He'd also have to have
medical
access to medical as well. So there'll be a physio or an S&C coach there with him as well. And these guys are probably, I don't know, there's probably about £100,000 worth a year of staff there as well on top of that.
Well, Chelsea are all right with doing it because they will know all the legalities of what they need to do.
Now. They'll be well versed now, yeah.
If you are that guy that has to turn up at 8 o'clock, though,
It's just
that's got to be tough. But
you get to know the other staff, though, right? Can be part of the benefits.
Man, it's a weird position, right? But having been there and having done that, I understand both sides. Being on the other side now, I understand it's just a business decision. It's nothing personal at all. But then it's a business decision for everyone. It's for Raheem as well. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I've still got 3 more years. But people don't like when the player sometimes has a bit of
control power
in terms of, okay, what do you want me to do? This is what you want. So if I stay, I'm not playing. Okay, I'm fine with that. Now it's like, oh my God. But when Isak wants to leave, okay, and it's the other way around now, everyone's screaming. But it happens every single day at every single club. People trying to get out or clubs trying to push out. And that's just the business, right? That's how it goes.
Well, that's the thing. For every player that's trying to get out of their own volition that a club wants to retain, there's another couple of players that the club is trying to push out that don't really want to leave. So there is that kind of balance. Looking back on the Isak situation, he's obviously made his debut for Liverpool in the last few hours. What did you make of the whole saga across the summer? How did you think that the various parties handled it?
Do you want me to be brutally honest? It is what it is. It's very simple. Newcastle, you're not going until we get such and such. Isak trying to do everything to get out. Because what people got to understand, I know you have contracts, but you know, right? You know how it goes. Listen, if this comes in, because he would have went to Newcastle and he would have said, look, if...
I firmly believe as well that somebody would have said to him...
100%.
Because he's not the character that would have switched in such a dramatic way as well had there not been those words, I don't think.
100%. Listen, if we get... I don't think it was 130 million, they said. I think they would have been like, listen, if we get 100 million from one of the top 4 in the world, whether it be Real Madrid, Liverpool, Man City, whoever it is, right? Look, we're not going to hold you back. Okay? I'm not going to say they won what they won, come back to the glory days being in Champions League because of Isak, because that team did well. But he is your upper echelon. of player. There's no one else on the team that is.
He was the number one target.
He's your pay-per-view.
Right, yeah.
Yep. So you got like pay-per-view, and then you got really very, very good. So Bruno Guimaraes is under that pay-per-view.
ITV Digital.
Yeah, no, not IT. Why are you doing that, bro? Stop it. Nah, he's top player. But if you're gonna talk about top 5 in your position, he's not, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Isak right now, well, end of last year, is he top 5 striker in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's your pay-per-view, right? So when people say, he gave you the cup and he got you in Champions League, I understand what they're saying, because without him, would you have won that? Not sure, but he's a part of the team in the greater scheme. The team did very well. Newcastle did amazing last season, right? There you go, mate.
Yeah.
There's 100 million, what you said. See you later. Man, hopefully one day you can come back. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And now I think it's not fair on the fans as well. I know the fans have feel this type of way, but it's not fair on them as well now, because that memory probably stained now.
It is tainted. There was...
you understand?
I saw a tattoo with
Did he black it out?
Newcastle fan, but it was the second one. Obviously, Isak scored the second goal, and Isak has changed from into Arat with the minutes there. So
do you see what I mean? And this is sometimes where people forget the business. This is the business that we're in.
I think, arguably as well, have more foresight when you're planning your tattoos. It's got to be done.
No, but a tattoo, that was the memory. Why now have you got that? That is what happened. He scored the second goal. Like,
well, we've spoken about this dichotomy as well, how the relationship with your football club can be like a relationship with a woman as well. And, if you've got, Philomena, for example, tattooed down your arm as well, and Phila breaks your heart, maybe you have that tattoo arranged afterwards, part of that rich tapestry of your bodywork.
Let me ask a question, because I saw a lot of footballers give their opinion on it. And I just want to say this. A lot of footballers forget when they was in that situation, because I've seen a lot of footballers who have been in the exact situation that handed in transfer requests.
Name them personally.
And then Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
He handed in a transfer request.
At Everton, yeah.
No. At Man United. Do you not remember? When he wanted to go?
Where was he going to go to?
I can't remember where he was going to go. I don't know. Only he can tell you that. I don't know. You don't remember. And then he signed a new contract. He ended up staying.
Yeah. Sorry, it's evaded me. But
okay.
Football expert here.
Even from Everton, handed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boyhood club. Bit more than Isak, right? Boyhood club.
So arguably leaving there should be a little bit more difficult. Is that perhaps what we're saying as well?
Not to me.
Yeah.
Because you want to better yourself and your career, right?
Yeah.
And your financial, everything you want to better. So not to me, I'm saying in the perspective of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It should be harder, right? Wasn't. I think you wrote it down, was it not on a napkin or whatever it was, from Everton. And then did the same with Alex Ferguson and then got a new contract. So you're playing, that's the game, you're playing. It's what people don't understand. That is how it goes. You know it, right? People don't want to say it. That is how it goes. What is he supposed to do? He wants to go and try and win the league. He wants to go and try and win the Champions League.
Well, that's the thing.
He's not, like you said, his character.
The fact is as well is that when you're in these situations at a club and you're running the player contracts, for example, there are times over the course of a season when players are less happy. They might want to leave. And sometimes you can just say no, and they forget about it. But other times there are players who are dead set on leaving. It's not the right place for them. And you need to make something that's going to work for them as well. There are a lot of different sort of aspects of it. But going back to Liverpool business now, they're unbeaten so far this season as well, scoring all their goals in the last 10 minutes. Are Liverpool again the team to beat this season?
One of them, yeah. One of them, if not the one. What I will say to that is, when you're particularly not playing well, but still winning games,
yeah,
it's a sign of a top side. It's a sign of a top side. So people saying, 96th minute winner. Yeah, because it's going to change back round. They're going to start playing. They're going to start gelling. They're going to start scoring in the second, the 10th, the 15th, etc., etc. You understand? That's a sign of a top side when everything's not going to plan yet. Verts, everybody wants to talk about Verts. My gosh, are we being serious? let him gel, let him adapt. The team's still winning. They're sitting top of the league. Like, do you understand what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
nah, come. All right, you tell me because you're smiling. This is what Seb does. You tell me.
Well,
Go on.
no. What I'm thinking is that specifically with one website. So BBC Sport. BBC Sport used to be a place where you could go and get news. So if I wanted to find out who the scorers were, what the manager said after the game, but instead we've got this reaction, some sort of thing. So, Liverpool 2.0 and not a misfiring. It was after a game. It's like, what is that? What are you on about? That is the most nonsensical rubbish I've ever heard, because you're making a judgment of a 38-game season after 90 minutes. Like 0.25%. What are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. So this whole idea, and you've got people who are just pushing for some kind of crap reaction because there's something that they're not seeing. So there's this sort of desire within media at the moment to push this narrative along. Oh, what's the next stage of it? There isn't one yet. There isn't one. Verse just started in a brand new team in a brand new country with a massive, massive contract. He's not 100% fit yet. He's getting used to new training methods, a new sodding language. And you know what? He's not done too badly. He's really not done too badly. But the scrutiny, what you said, I think is a really, really good point. And it's only getting worse.
Listen, if you guys was there, how can I put it? Like you just said, they can't see it, right? If you could see it, you'd be the head coach of Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's wild to think that your opinion actually means anything in terms of what Arne Slot's trying to do. He's trying to build. He can see it. He can probably see little details that need maybe a little change in little details. But on the grand scheme of thing, I can see the way I want my team. Yeah. I can see the way I need him, or what I need him to do. He can see it. There's not a problem with it. And if there is a problem, he's going to do it on the training ground, because the grass never lies. Yep. That's what I always say. The grass never lies. When you're on the grass, he's going to show you and he's going to tell you. We can all talk about it here on camera and whatever, but he sees him day to day and he's seeing things and he knows. And the minute he doesn't, he'll make a change, because he seems like that coach that probably will, right?
So one of the things, this is another thing that we'll talk about in a minute as well, is this change aspect too. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is, do you think that Arne Slot is the coach who's going to bring back two strikers? Because I think in Ekitike and in Isak, they arguably have that balance of striker who can actually play together. It's not this typical big man, small man. They're quite similar. They can both play a little bit deeper with build-up. They've both got a lovely first touch. They've both got in to play around them. They can both attack that post. Do you think that the two strikers is arguably a system that we're going to see this season?
Maybe in possession. In possession, he probably could do that. Out of possession, I think maybe one will have to start closer to the left.
Yeah.
Just out of position. Out of possession. Obviously in a defensive, whatever it is, high block press, mid block, or low block, whatever it might be. And I just think when they have the ball, they could end up being a two. How
often in your career did you play as a pair? Had a strike partner?
Oh, in the start of my career, it was basically 4-4-2 because I was playing, or 3-5-2, I was playing lower leagues. And then...
How does it feel? Because this guy is your wingman, right? Do you have a special relationship with them? Do you bond? I mean, the famous Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham one, hated each other, played beautifully well. Played with Dwight York, had a different kind of combination as well. That depends on your character.
That depends on your character. If you're like a little bit envious or egotistical in terms of, I've got to score because he's scored, or is it you both are having a little competition, which is good, driving each other. The main thing for me was...
I take it you weren't the loving one out of the pair then? You weren't the one who was supporting the other one? You were the one who needed those goals?
Listen, every striker that I played with always got high double figures. Always. I did a lot of dirty work.
But that's, it's the kind of stuff that we were saying that Gyökeres is going to be doing at Arsenal that we didn't necessarily have within that squad beforehand as well. So,
but just to go on, the thing with a two, when you're playing a two, why I say egotistical is because you have to do each other's jobs.
yeah.
So, for example, if it might not have been shown on the tactical breakdown, okay, you're doing this run, you're doing this run. But as you know, in football, you adapt. Okay?
As you know, in football as well, very, very little that happens on the tactical board will happen in the game.
Yeah, but like I said, you problem solve on the pitch and you adapt on the pitch, right? Yeah. So if I've made that run past him down the left now, right, and my starting position for defensive restarts, for example, is a goal kick, or we go back into a low block and he's meant to be the highest point, but I've made that run and I just shout, hey, drop in for me.
You don't do hands on hips. And
and he's like, yeah, but that's you. No. Just drop back in now. That's what I'm talking about, egotistical. Well, that's not for me. That's your... No. Now it's role changing. You understand what I mean?
So on the pitch, for example, when somebody... We've spoken about this a little bit before as well. You weren't somebody who reacted particularly well if your teammate was... in your opinion, wrong about a tactical move, for example, and had a word with you.
Had a word with me and he was wrong? What do you mean by that? It is.
Did a Bruno Fernandes?
That? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like none of that. Because that can be interpreted by everybody watching as something totally different. You can be in the right. Just don't do that. Nobody needs to know. That was my whole thing, like this and whatever. And I understand in different cultures, even when I was playing abroad, I had to tell them, listen, don't do that. No, because you know why?
How'd you do? Nice to meet you. I mean, your teammate. Do that?
No. Let me tell you why. Because we think that our media here is bad. Yeah? It's a whole different ball game abroad. There is no line. Zero line.
Yeah.
Right? So, there's been instances where guys, like that. Next day, it's such and such tells such and such to do one when I see you outside. Like, they can just manipulate everything.
Out of nothing, yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't too big for you to come to me and say, hey, I need you to, drop back. Cool, no problem. But if you're, doing all this, you can scream at me, hey, run back. Da-da-da-da-da. No problem. When you start doing... so whatever you're doing, you understand?
Yeah.
For me, that's a problem. And that's what I didn't like. Because I've had it here, I've had it abroad, and we've had words inside. Okay. In terms of, listen, bro, that ain't going to run again. And there's a lot of strikers when, here, I give you something else. Yeah? Everyone thinks Drogba's a nice guy.
On the pitch?
Listen, no, off the pitch. Really nice guy. Helps everyone. Don't put that ball in when it's supposed to come and see how he is at halftime. Tito Loquito, no, that's gone. What? Didi, no, that's gone. Didier, listen, my friend. Hey, and he used to do this thing, yeah? It's 2 fingers. He's going to hate me for saying it. He used to do this thing on the back of the neck. Bah! Listen, Oh, man. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of things, there's a lot of details, there's a lot of parts that a lot of people, if they've not played in that type of environment.
But sorry, just to go back on Didier as well, he did it respectfully, right? He
totally
wouldn't call you out on the pitch. He was furious at you. He would absolutely want to destroy you as well. But to anybody looking at you publicly, there's no problem.
You wouldn't know anything.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? When we get inside, he's having a stern word with you, just like I would. And this is why I say football's so important for communication and relationships, right? Don't have to be best friends, but there's a mutual relationship, a mutual respect, because we're going to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And now even more as a coach, that's the type of coach that I am. I have a relationship with everybody. You don't need to speak to me every day, but you know I respect you and you respect me, because when we have that tough conversation about whatever, maybe you're not played or what you need to do better, or I didn't like this, you're not taking it as a disrespect, or you're not taking it as, who's this guy think he is, right? You understand? So because Didi had that respect for everybody, right? He gave his respect as a man, right? And he had that vulnerability of, you can talk to me as well.
Yeah.
Like, hey, did they?
The
like,
humility
hey, did
as
they?
well,
Bro, you
just
need
as
to
a
score that.
character,
Yeah, man. Sorry. Yeah. No, who are you talking to? No, none of that. You understand? That's why it then becomes receptive.
Well, there's one other chap as well who could be due a little bit of honesty, probably from his assistant manager, and it's a gentleman named Ruben Amorim. And what it is basically is that there'll be this board in his room, and it will have three defenders, and then there'll be four, next line of four, and then there'll be another three. And what his assistant manager needs to do is go, Ruben, you see this 3-4-3? I'm going to be honest with you, and it's going to be a difficult conversation. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. At the moment, everybody, the absolute crap that I have heard and seen about the Manchester United situation, just call it what it is. Call it what it is. The system is no good. You don't have the players for that system. So, Ruben Amorim hasn't had time. You've had 2 windows at Manchester United. You have had time, you know, and the biggest indicator to how your next season is going to go is how did your last season end? And that was badly, and it started badly. You know, we spoke earlier on about the media and this next thing, and we've already had conversations. Who replaces Amorim? Who replaces Amorim? He's dead in the water, right? Or is he not? You know, is he walking on water? Maybe he's Moses. He's parted the waves this time as well. But I cannot see any kind of future at that club for him where they are successful. He's the worst Manchester United manager in the Premier League era. When that happens, you get fired in any other club. So I don't know if it's whether they felt sorry because they brought him in early. Oh, apologies, we were going to bring you in early. And that's given him, you know, an extra 6 months gratitude or something. They got to get rid of him, right?
Listen, what I say is this, yeah. I'm always the thing of, Manchester United are not Manchester United what they were before. Okay, the club is, like, for example, the fan base and how big the club is, but the team's not a Manchester United team in terms of what we had growing up.
Yeah.
Right, and the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's a very, very different.
It's a very
prospect.
different team. But going to watch a Man United team play 3 at the back, that's got to be, for a fan, that's got to be jarring. That has to be tough to watch a 3 at the back for Man United at home.
Would you say what? Because it's a more defensive formation?
Yeah.
Plain and simple, they are playing a defensive formation at Old Trafford.
Which, depending on the outcomes that he wants, the objective of his team, is he trying to make his team hard to beat? Or is he trying to win games? I don't know. Nobody can answer that but him.
Yeah.
Nobody. Okay? But in terms of what it looks like...
Either would be good though, right?
Either would be. And at the moment, they're in no man's land, right? And I think that's why Roy Keane got so passionate because, okay, if you're hard to beat, get up to the ball, make contact, make a tackle, make a foul, like, hit someone.
They're
like,
not playing for him. They are not playing for him. They are not...
I'll give you a question,
and what you would want as a minimum, and I mean this is very, very English to say in a sense. You want to see
the fight, right?
The fight. You want to see them.
I don't think that's English at all, man. That's because I've played at a lot of teams where that's what they want to see.
No,
first.
but I would say that fundamentally within DNA, the one thing that England always brought was fight.
Yeah.
One thing. You know, we may not have had the tactical knowledge, we may not have had the technical skill, going back years, obviously. But we always would bring a fight.
Do you think, though, the players, they don't believe in him or in the system?
Both.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, look at the players that they have. And to play in a 3, you need to have balance. They don't have that. They don't have the players to do it. So, you know, if I'm going to make dinner, and I think to myself, you know, I love roast beef. I love roast beef, but I don't have it. I've only got a roast chicken.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make roast chicken instead. I will make a meal with what I have and adapt in that way.
I do think in that...
It's a basic intelligence, Kaz. This is, you know, this is someone who has We go through all these UEFA courses, all these coaching courses, and what does it? It talks about adaptation.
Yeah.
You know, different systems. There is not just one way. So how can it be that one
And
of
that's
the
what I mean.
highest
It should
paid
be
Premier
player to
League
system,
managers
right?
who's been successful at Lisbon? All right, be successful at Lisbon. I'm sorry, but it's the same as being, you know, with all due respect to Ange, successful at Celtic. You had no challenge whatsoever. You have the best team. How are you going to screw it up? It's more difficult to fail than it is to win the championship there. And to a certain extent, at Sporting, I know at Sporting you got Benfica, a little bit more of a challenge
Porto.
as well, with Porto as well. So there were big three, but Porto
Now
were
Braga.
on their knees as well. Braga weren't anywhere near. So you essentially had Benfica and you had Sporting. And he did a really, really good job at Sporting. So in
I give
another
him his
club,
credit. It
with
did look nice, though.
in a league setting, they are giants. You know, there's not Maritimo. They've got a proper stadium, proper setup. They have the potential
And
to
his
buy
football
the
did
best
look
players
nice, though, at that time.
in the Portuguese league.
Yeah. Europe as well. It looked nice.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but in Europe as well.
I'm just saying. What I want to get is not that. You know, I'm a man. You know, like when we have like a discussion or argument or conversation, a debate, should I say?
Not a petition.
No, not a petition. If you're making sense, I can see from your perspective why you would think that. I'd be like, you know what? I understand why Seb's thinking that. So when you're not making sense, I'll just be like, right, you're talking rubbish. So I can understand why they hired him. Yes or no?
I can understand why they hired him because they just got rid of Ten Hag. They had no one. But this is what it comes down to.
Just shot man down.
But if you look at the timing of it as well, look at the timing of it. So they had in their mind what they were doing was that incrementally they were trying to take the best of the best behind this backroom staff. Okay, so first of all they bring in Omar Barada as well, very very experienced CEO from just around the corner. They bring Dan Ashworth in as well. Dan Ashworth is gone. Was not staying there. Thought their sporting plan was not feasible. Didn't want Ruben Amorim. So if we're looking at it as well, and who else do you get? There's a million people that would say yes to the job. So personally speaking, I think that you can cast your net extremely wide.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. I totally get that.
Sorry, Tottenham. So we spoke last season about Tottenham this year. They've got Champions League football. They've got an amazing stadium. They are one of the most exciting prospects in the league, and it kills us as Arsenal fans to actually admit that. But that's the
it doesn't.
truth.
That's good for Arsenal.
It's the truth, though, right? They really, really motored. So Thomas Frank has gone in there, and he looks like a Rolls Royce already. He looks particularly comfortable and ensconced there. We've got Iraola, who I think for everybody is the
next one.
The next one. He's the guy who's proved himself. He's got these echelons. And there are so many people that they could have gone to had they had foresight, had they had bravery. You know, I don't know if Ruben Amorim was a brave decision.
I think at the time, the time of Man United, obviously they just changed. They were changing the investor, etc., etc. I think that was a brave decision, though. I think it was a brave decision. I think history tells you, in terms of everybody that's come from the Portuguese league, how they've adapted. They've not adapted great, right? Mm-hmm. They've not done so well. So for me, easy decision would have been like, no, we're not troubling him. That would have been easy. But what I wanted to say was more of, I can understand why they did it, but now is the time to be brave. You need to make a decision. Do you get what I'm saying? In terms of, it looks like it's going to be the same type of season.
They're not improved.
This is what I'm saying to you.
They're marginally worse. They've lost.
You think they're worse? I think they're exactly the same. I think they're exactly the same. I don't think they're worse or any. I think they're exactly the same. And for me, being exactly the same is worse than if you was worse.
Well, that's
Do you want to know why? No, I'll tell you why. It sounds mad, and they'll probably, what's this guy talking about? I'll tell you why. Because if they was worse, at least they was trying to change something, and it's not working. But being in the same...
That's my point is, you know, a 4-3-3 is a really nice, stable formation that pretty much everybody in this country has played for the last 15 to 20 years. Give it a go. One game. Why wouldn't you try?
How's Højlund done? He's scored a couple since he's gone, hasn't he?
Sharp. But, you know, this is actually a very good point that you made. What's happening there is that Højlund is making the run. exactly the same runs he was making at Manchester United.
Did you not
Four,
banter me though when I
five,
said that?
6 times a game.
Did you not banter me when I said that?
Absolutely not. That
You
wasn't me.
didn't.
You're mistaking me for somebody else.
I said to you, he makes very good runs. Nothing's coming.
Okay, but in a 3-4-3, that's not a formation in which an isolated striker is going to be able to get on the back of those things, right?
It depends, though, because like
Not
if you're
at
playing
United, no, but it doesn't depend on United.
No, forget the system.
Game after game.
No, hear what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is if you're playing a 3-4-3 with natural wingers, natural wingers, natural sided wingers. So right foot, left foot, left side. He would have scored a lot of goals, and that was all that it needed to be tweaked a little bit.
I mean, you had those. You had those in one was at Aston Villa at the time.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, right? But you got Ahmad, who I think is their best player.
Yeah, and he's not really been performing very well as a wing back.
Whether or not, right? That's not what I'm talking about.
Who's our best attacker at the moment? Assistant manager is Ahmad. Should we use him as a defender?
Yeah.
What?
It's wild, but. What I'm saying is...
And he's getting paid money for this, though. Every week, United
This is why I don't like talking about Man United with you. You just go off. You just go off. I'm trying to be really, really articulated.
I know, but it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And you've got Jim Radcliffe, who is, one of the most successful businessmen from Britain. And he's just says, like, I don't know. Yeah, 3-4-3. That's great. Great idea. Ahmad wingback. Yeah. Give him more time. Should we give him another contract? What are they playing at? Ahmad as a wingback. But anyway, sorry to finish.
No. You've gone off with it. Don't worry.
To finish your point, Højlund doing very, very well, and it's very, very simple. He has players. There's a guy called De Bruyne, McTominay, 2 quite good players there. Did do okay at United, both of those. And
no, De Bruyne was at City.
Yeah, but he would do well at United.
Oh, he would
a free
do well.
transfer, you know what I mean?
Another Tevez.
City fans wouldn't have cared.
No.
They'd have been encouraged it. He wouldn't have had to move house. He missed one there. But anyway, they're finding him now. Højlund is making the run. So what's happened there is that the manager of Napoli is saying to them, you know what, Højlund is going to be making these runs and he's our number 9. And if Højlund scores, then we're winning games. So let's provide for Højlund. And they're playing in a system that actually provides for a striker. They're trying to play to make him good.
To make him effective, right?
To make him effective. As opposed
so then I give you a question again. Man United's 9.
Mm-hmm. Monsieur Benjamin Sesko.
Can you see similarities in what's happening?
I can see similarities with Joshua Zirkzee. He is a very, 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 very similar player to Josh. Will like to drop deep, get involved in the play itself as well.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about similarities in player. I'm talking about similarities in not being able to be effective. Because
the difference between him and Josh is that they will both drop too deep to get the ball, which means that in the situations where they're actually breaking, they are not sprinters. And they're not going to get in the box for the finish. So what you need to be doing is you need the Gyökeres. Stay up. Stay in the box. Stay in and around those areas. And you know what? The ball will come to you eventually. You might not get that many chances, but...
The problem is when you're playing a 3-4-3, you're overloaded in the midfield, right?
Yeah.
So then he's then going to have to drop back.
Yeah. And then you're isolated when the ball actually breaks to you as well. And then when it does come in a counter position, if you've been able to soak it up as well, you've only got the one central forward and there's no width.
Anyway, let's get off of this because you can talk about United. I think you was a United fan,
No, I'm a massive admirer of United, but I am...
So let's not talk about the stadium.
Yeah, we'll.
If you haven't seen other episodes, you won't understand that joke, yeah? Let's not talk about... Let's not get on there. Go on to the next
United, coming to a ground share near you very, very soon. We're going to get on to one of my other favourite characters, Monsieur Ange Postecoglou. I
like Ange.
I like Ange as well, and he will be
really like Ange.
Total disaster at Nottingham Forest.
You think so?
Absolutely. I think that if we're looking at cup competitions, he's quite successful. If we're looking at the league, he's absolutely terrible. So I think that if you give Ange a a weaker squad, with all due respect, than Spurs, and then you apply that gung ho attitude because Celtic played like Spurs, very similar.
First of all, yeah, Seb, can we just say, Nuno Espirito, amazing work you did, brilliant job, man. I just want to say that because, you know, from what he came in to how he left. What a job, man! And
he left in inauspicious circumstances. A bit of a weak one, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. As a guy, he is so nice.
Yep.
He is just such a gentle human being.
He's so nice, but you know what? He's frigging good at doing his job, man.
He's a top coach. Top coach.
And okay, Tottenham's gone on to.
Okay, sorry. Just to interject.
Yeah.
Nuno Espirito Santo and Manchester United does a better job than Ruben Amorim with those players. Guarantee.
It's not a bad shout.
Would go in there with humility till the end of the season, take us up. There's no compensation to pay as well. And, Ruben Amorim, honestly, he should resign.
That would never happen.
I'm starting a petition for the resignation of Ruben Amorim.
Don't do that. But yeah, what a great job, firstly. Secondly, yeah, I like Ange. I like Ange.
Entertainment.
And I think he will do. First of all, I think he's got a tough job. Not because they haven't got. They got a great squad.
Well, also he's reset the counter, so it's going to be another 24 months before he wins anything.
But you're so stupid. Let me land, bro. Today you've been on one. It must be that foot. That foot's give you new life, bro. Let me tell you why. Just because of the way that they've been structured out to play, it's very different to Ange. Very different. But I will say this: he has a great group of players to actually work from and a great pot. Even not just the starting 11, they got a crazy squad. And Maniakis puts his money where his mouth is. So if he says something, he'll probably get what he wants. Okay? So we have to give him, I know it sounds crazy, time. He needs time because I do think Ange's personality, I think you'd love to work under him. For him, should I say. I think as a player you would.
I think, yeah, I'd like to go for a beer with Ange.
100%. I don't drink, but it could be a non-alcoholic beverage.
Go for a spritzer with him, for example.
Not even a spritzer, that's alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic one.
Let's go for guanana.
Okay, we're going to go and have a mineral water with Ange.
Why?
Well, it's not alcoholic. But no, I just think that when it comes to Forest, again, it's adaptation, right? So, I mean, when doing both minutes of research that I did for this show last night, I got sidetracked for a couple of minutes as well. And there's this group of fish that at certain times of the year and in certain conditions, certain heat conditions in the water as well, will actually change gender. It changes from being male to female, depending upon the conditions and depending upon what it needs to do. So if within nature we can see that there are creatures who are adapting to survive, to better, why within football are we so poor at changing? One of Carlo Ancelotti's sort of most...
You could have used a better analogy than that, though.
No, I couldn't, actually.
You could have. There's an elephant now that's not growing tusks.
Really?
Yeah, because of poachers. So, nature has adapted it now where they're being
but
born without
not
tusks.
growing tusks. I'm sorry, but if we're top trumping here, not growing tusks is a nice one. It's a good one to pull out. But it's not a fish changing sex, is it?
Yeah, but that's never heard of. There's nothing that you can even compare that to. That's a wild analogy that you could have used. You could have.
Again, we're going to have a petition on this one as well. I think sod the polls now. We're going to have a proper.
No, I don't want a petition. Well. I'm just saying. Anyway, go on.
No, it's fine. It's all right.
No. What are you doing? Right. I'm just saying. Yeah, go on. Anyway, I'm listening. Adaptation.
So anyway, we're talking about adaptation, and one of the things that I've been struggling with is this idea that I'm having a philosophy. I've got a football philosophy and need to stick to it as well. Don Carlo, we said a number of times, is one of our very, very favourite managers as well for very, very many reasons. I remember him talking about being in Milan and the fact that he had to change as well. There were a number of things, and that was the first time with adaptation. And he spoke about Modric as well at a later date and using him as a number 10. He realised
He's flying, by the way.
He had to change, right?
Yeah.
He's flying in Brazil or Modric?
No, Modric.
Modric, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that if you've got the absolute the grandfathers, you know what I mean, the guys who've had that experience, different countries and won things all over the world as well. Why, as a younger manager, do you not just listen?
So are we going back to Ruben again?
Well, no, not just Ruben specifically.
Can I say why? And I've said this to you before, right? I've worked under managers that are career managers, right? So they're in their 10th, 11th, 12th season, and I've had guys that are literally their first day, right? So new. Amorim is relatively new in terms of massive club, right? And I find that the older coach, he or she is less egotistical, power. They're okay with adaptation because they're very secure within themselves.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they want. They know what they're doing. They don't care if you're my assistant and you've got the point across. It's still my team. I'm fine with it. Yeah, go on. Yeah, do that. No problem. Captains, you run the dressing room. I don't even need to hear nothing. You set the rules, whatever it is. And then the newer coaches, they need to set precedent. They need to set the culture. It needs to be my way or it's not my way because you need everything to be about you. All right. So now it's very hard to adapt. And I'm not saying that that's what the situation is, but from my experience of being with literally brand new coaches and established coaches, that's where it comes. So Carlo Ancelotti has no problem with his son doing every single training at that time. He's not. Yeah. He's at Botafogo now. He's not with
lazy.
Yeah. No, not because he's lazy. Why did you do that? Because Carlo has realised...
If I could get my kid to do my job, I'd be doing it every day, right?
Why did you do that? Because people just click that like I've called Carlo Ancelotti lazy. No. Carlo Ancelotti understands that his son is probably better at doing the grass work. At that aspect of it, yeah. At that aspect, doing the grass work, planning the sessions, and he be the guy that doesn't have to be the iron fist, right? But the players just love him. So now when he comes, he's like, hey.
It was like Neil Warnock's working week started on a Thursday for the media.
Listen, I never saw Neil until Thursday. I never saw him on Thursday. And guess what? He'd come in and be like, it would be raining. And he'd be like, Jags, you get out the cold, son. Come under this umbrella. You get inside. On a Thursday, I'd be like, cheers. What about us? What about us, Gaffer? Still to this day, you're not answering my calls. How about that one?
I got to love the Waller.
Nah, yeah, but great man-to-man coach, by the way.
He's
great.
And it's another one as well. Until you actually spend some time with them, get to know them a bit, public personas totally different.
Do you understand what I mean? So, man-to-man manager, should I say?
Yeah,
not
different.
Coach. Very different.
But and that's what we come down to is perception. So,
another. Ange.
Well, with Ange, like I said, I think that at Forest, let's enjoy him while he lasts. But
why are you saying why he lasts?
Because in my opinion,
why are you being so negative, bro?
It's not negative.
It is negative.
It's not negative. Well, it is for Ange.
Why he lasts?
It is for Ange. Why he lasts? Because I cannot see him lasting at Nottingham Forest. I just do.
What is lasting though? In like to your point, what is lasting?
Christmas.
You think so?
Listen, if it's not going to go well, if Forest are in the relegation zone at Christmas time, he's gone.
Well, we're talking about it's been 2 games.
I know.
The first game, did he take the first game? I don't.
No.
So it's been 1 game.
So he's had absolutely zero time. He hasn't had a transfer window, and for all of these reasons as well, it's going to be more difficult. And
how do you think his narrative is from the perception from outside? Do you think he will, to everybody? To me, he was an absolute success story at Tottenham.
I don't know, but it all involves a terrible Australian accent when I do it in my head.
Oh, terrible for your accent that you do. Oh, I thought he was calling his accent terrible. I was about to say, they come for you, man. Yeah, they're going to come for you. Let's hear it. Hey, go on, let me hear your accent.
It always comes out as Scottish. No.
No, but serious question. The narrative from yours, was he a failure or a success at Tottenham?
He got sacked. He got sacked after winning a trophy.
I
So
don't. I
I
don't
think that
listen. I don't want to hear that rubbish. I don't want to hear that rubbish. Was he a success or failure?
or a failure? Ange has to go down in history as being a success at Spurs
100%.
because he won the trophy. However,
Go on.
look at the league. So if I'm hiring somebody as a manager, you know, which I've done before, we didn't hire based upon cup performance.
But do you
We
really
based
think?
upon what they
Hold
can
on.
do in the league.
No, but I don't believe that though, because it depends where you're at. Do you really believe Daniel Levy hired him to win the league? That was his objective in his brain.
Daniel Levy hired the cheapest person with the biggest name he could find.
See, I don't think so. Ange, I support Ange. Like, listen, I think he's a.
I think after Mourinho and Conte, he was always after value.
Yeah, but listen to this though. He's an absolute success. To leave Tottenham where they are, Champions League football and European winners. Doesn't matter what you're talking about, Europa League, European winners, something that Arsenal's not. Grew up an Arsenal fan, okay? To leave that in 2 seasons, leave them in the position that they're in, allowing the new coach to come in and absolutely build on that.
I mean, listen, the
success.
one thing I will say about Ange and his time at Spurs is that he did an incredible job, better than anyone else, for the next manager. Because he gave them European football. They're in the Champions League. That's a gift. It means that you can attract better players.
Mm-hmm.
He also gave them their worst Premier League position. So for the next person coming in, the level of expectation is so violently low.
You're such a bad guy, you know, bro.
It's so
Listen to what I'm saying.
low.
Though. You're talking about adapt, right? He now this is just talking retrospective. Like I don't know what he's thinking, but to me, so I don't like speaking about another person, but if I'm in that position, I can see, right, we're not doing great in the league. I need to survive in the league, but we can go out and win this Europa League.
Yeah, let's go 1v1 at the back.
Yeah, but irrelevant. They won, bro. You're talking like they lost.
Yeah.
They won.
Why did they win?
Forget about why. No one cares why. Hold on. Champions League day before. Who did they play? Villa. Yeah, they played Villarreal. Okay, they won. No one's talking about they're in the Champions League.
Yeah, but you know what it was?
Wait.
European
no,
final.
Hold on.
European final. Opposition scouts going in there. What are they going to play? 3-4-3.
Okay, but hear what I'm saying to you though. They won. Guess what? He's not at home now. He's in Nottingham. But he was at home during the whole summer. Cigar, medal around his neck.
Medal, right?
Champions League.
Cognac and medal.
And guess what? The guy that fired him. So was that the right decision?
Listen, I think if we were asking for that narrative, was it the right decision to get rid of Ange? Yeah. Was it the right decision to appoint him? Now that you've given me this visual of Ange with a medal and a cognac and a cigar as well, he's absolutely the right man for Forest. You can see him and Marinakis in the boardroom, basically, after a nice Hennessy. It's a beautiful thing, actually.
I'm just saying, as an Arsenal fan, you're just a hater. You're just a hater. If we're going to talk football, let's just put our bias. Let's just put our bias apart. Bro, he's won a major tournament.
But we've had this major tournament
it's not
discussion
major
before.
in comparison to Champions League. Champions League is, what did we say before with Isak? Pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah? But Europa League is the next biggest.
Setanta Sports.
It's not even Setanta Sports, bro. Don't do that. Why? Setanta Sports, that don't even exist no more. Wild. Seb, you're a big disrespect. Listen, guys, I'm sorry,
Big up Glasgow TV
I can
community.
put my Arsenal love from a child aside and talk facts. They're going to put the world. Who is it? What's the Super Cup?
Well, the European Super Cup.
Yeah.
It's
who? Who will it be? Paris. They lost already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but they played in that.
Yeah, they've played in the.
Where was everyone else?
Well, everyone else was.
So if Tottenham would have won that.
No,
if Tottenham, because they nearly did.
They nearly did.
They nearly did. Yeah, if Tottenham would have won that, what would you be saying right now?
I'd be saying exactly the
because
same
you know
thing.
What,
I'm a very consistent person.
That's how Fatty Terim, yeah? That's how he got his Europe Super Cup medal. The guy won the UEFA Cup. Do you remember Arsenal?
Yeah.
Got sacked. He's come in and won that cup.
And he's got
first game. He's got the medal. So what I'm saying to you is, irrespective of your Tottenham and Ange hate, Yeah.
Oh, that's a low blow. That's a
I'm joking,
low
guys.
blow.
No, but all jokes aside, it's a major tournament. I don't want to hear about these footballers. They're all bantering, yes. And you guys had the luxury of every season competing in the Champions League, which I had for like 4 seasons. It's amazing. But don't get it twisted. Europa League is an amazing tournament to play in and to be able to win.
Well, keeping it on the European track as well, a few months ago, back at the very dawn of last season, we made our predictions for who was going to be Ballon d'Or. And next month, we have the final coming up as well. A few contenders. So, Monsieur Dembele, out injured at the moment as well, I think has done particularly well. Will he win the Ballon d'Or?
Who else is in there, do you think?
Who else is going to be in there? I mean, the shortlist is out. We've got a number of them. But personally, I think it should be Dembele. You know, I've said that all the way through. Very, very big supporter of his as well. What I wanted to ask you was the next Ballon d'Or. Because for me, this time next year, Mr. Michael Olise is going to be picking up his award. Watching him perform at Bayern, he has become the main man in a European superpower.
Yeah.
And
But I don't think he'll win Ballon d'Or next year.
why? Who?
First of all,
who are you expecting to come through or shine?
I don't know.
Season?
I don't know. I just don't see. Let's not make it about Olise, because I don't want it to be Olise won't win the Ballon d'Or. I don't think playing in
Kaz has
Germany.
just petitioned
for
next
not
season
at all.
that Michael
Because
should not win it.
No, that's not
Sorry,
what I said.
I'm getting confused.
That's not what I said. I defo think he should be in the race. But again, a player from Germany, playing in Germany, if you look at the votes this year, there's some players.
So the reason why I'm asking is because next
of,
season he's going to be, next summer he's going to be at the World Cup representing France, playing as a 10. And you will see Michael in arguably his strongest position.
Yep.
And
so when that happens, I can come back right as of now. The reason why I say it's nothing to do with Olise and nothing to do with Germany. Massive league, absolute amazing players. Bayern Munich, what a team. Their performance yesterday, his performance yesterday speaks for itself. But if you see the people that didn't even get into the shortlist this year.
Yeah. I mean, there are some...
Like, come on.
There are a few players on there.
Like what? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that's why I say what's obvious is not so obvious. So you saying that, right now, unless the format or whatever it is changes, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know who should win it, in my opinion, Dembele. I don't even know if he's going to win it because he's out injured now and he's not on the screens anymore and people forget. Short memory.
People forget.
You know what I mean?
No, I think that Rafinha was your pick
At that time.
For the whole thing.
No. At that time, when we spoke,
I'm sorry,
it weren't even quarterfinals. We weren't even at the first group phase.
I know this is why I'm already predicting and calling out Michael Olise now. 13 months in advance, Kaz. Watch it happen.
That's an easy pick to pick up, bro.
What?
Yeah, 13
How is that
months.
an easy pick?
Who knows what's going to happen in 13 months, bro?
Your question about
Allow
it. I don't know. It could be
stop
anybody.
it.
Could be anybody.
No, I didn't say it could be anybody.
I'm nailing Olise to the mask.
You think he wins it before? If the trajectory still goes with Lamine, you think he wins it before Lamine?
Sort of forgot about it. I think that is the perfect place for us to end this Football Park podcast from our new home, Elephant and Castle. Been a pleasure. Until next time, catch you later.